What you're about to hear is an actual review posted by a customer after visiting a restaurant, and the actual response the customer got from the owner. So the customer writes a 1-star review on this restaurant's Yelp page, and she writes, "Do not go there to eat. The chef does not know how to cook. They do not use seasoning, and the pasta dish I had was wet and completely overcooked. The sauce was runny and flavorless. My mom had the burger, which was okay, but the chipotle aioli was so strong it made it impossible to taste anything afterwards." Now, you guys ready for the response from the owner? This is what he said. "Well, there's always at least one that makes a fuss about anything, and the little prima donna from the faraway land didn't disappoint. We are not for everyone, just for the majority. You fall into a minority category. Perhaps a more highfalutin establishment is where you will find solace, and if you think we're going to beg you to give us another chance, you got us all wrong, baby. Great drinks and food is not where you belong. Do us all a favor, please don't come back. We are certainly not a place for superficial, pompous snobs. We pride ourselves in welcoming and serving real people. You know, not the one you see in the mirror, dear." What in the What's up, guys? This is Amir with 5Spot. You can follow 5Spot Marketing on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 5Spot Marketing. We got a great podcast coming up today regarding reputation and why your reputation is one of the most important aspects of your business to watch this year. First and foremost, let me just say, happy 2017. We had a little hiccup the last quarter of 2016 as I was working on my end of the year work. I'm sure you all were as well. So this may sound a little belated, but I hope everybody had a wonderful holidays and hope you all have your goals you're starting to meet as this new year rolls out. So, reputation. I'll be discussing the importance briefly because it's pretty obvious how important it is, but the main point of this podcast is to show you, the restaurant, the mechanic, the plumber, the small business owner, how to efficiently manage your online reputation. I'm going to show you how easy it is to get your positive feedback flowing regularly on sites like Yelp, and then I'm going to explain how you can suppress a negative or bad review simply by diffusing it in a smart way. If you're wondering how to get your customers to leave reviews, what to do with a bad review, what to do with a good review, and just what not to do in general, this is the one show you do not want to miss. So let's put politics aside, let's dive into our own world of prosperity. Without further ado, this is episode 2 of the Small Business Digital Marketing Podcast. Perhaps nothing is of greater value to a company than its reputation. The reputation of your business will greatly inform how new and current customers will perceive it. So making sure you're aware of this has never been more important now in 2017 that nearly everyone is on their mobile devices looking for the next restaurant or the nearest service station or the nearest auto mechanic. Nearly all of your customers will be able to create their own content that discusses your company and its products or services. And this is something where, despite all the tricks and hacks one can do to make your feedback look different, there's virtually nothing you can do to stop an unhappy customer or a happy customer from leaving a review. It's static, it doesn't go anywhere. The damage is done, be it good or bad. So that's why when a company receives a 1-star or a 2-star review from an unhappy customer, it feels like somebody just vandalized your business by spray painting a big "do not buy from here" sign for everyone to see. Now, this can be both a good thing and a not so good thing, but it just, for a business owner I know, I've been there, it's almost an emotional roller coaster when you take time to read what people are saying about you online. You have your positive reviews where your endorphins go nuts and you jump for joy and you feel more confident that you're running your business the right way. Then somebody goes online and writes the worst things about your company. You know, do not buy, scam, stay away. If I could get 0 stars, I would. Ew, food poisoning, all this stuff. Then you get those special Yelp Elite cult members that just seem to love using all caps when describing their negative experience. And then you have the issue of companies trying to figure out, well, how do I respond to a negative review? Look, a bad review doesn't necessarily mean that your company isn't doing things right, okay? If your company was getting a flux of negative 1 and 2 star reviews on a weekly basis, if you have multiple complaints with the Better Business Bureau, if your business is on a ripoff report or other complaint sites, then I, as a marketing and branding consultant, would bluntly just tell you to fix your shit, okay? But that's not the case for most companies. Most companies do operate legitimately, but in the end, you really can't satisfy everybody. Your food will suck to some people, your dealership will sell a weird car to someone, your legal case may not be won on behalf of your client. Somewhere between your business growing and reaching more people, you will hit a point where you will have an unhappy or unsatisfied customer walk through your door. Should you shrug it off? Probably not. It might drive you crazy for years to come. It's up to them to pony up the time and mental strength to go online and blast your company, but it's up to you to take the necessary action to avoid it from coming into fruition in the first place. That's why I recommend a proactive approach to your reputation and not a reactive. Avoid the pitfall of potentially harming your business more by not lighting fire with fire. Instead, follow these 5 tips for managing your reputation, and I guarantee you will see a drastic improvement in your customers leaving more positive feedback and more customers coming through your doors despite what they've read online. Number 1, understand the core trends within the context of your feedback. What are people raving about? What are people complaining about? By monitoring your reviews, you get an idea of how your target audience becomes motivated enough to leave a review. Restaurants would be a fine example of this. People would leave good reviews on the food, the atmosphere, the decor, and overall customer service. This is to be said about negative reviews too. By identifying what customers love about your business, you can take advantage of pushing more for that particular product or service. You can also use your positive feedback to boost the company's ego within your marketing strategy, and we'll talk about that in a second. By identifying what your customers don't love about your business, this enables you to evaluate your internal operations and make whatever changes you need accordingly. Using the restaurant example again, a core trend of your negative feedback may be a bad server or bad service during a busy night. So take note of the context of your recent feedback and use that data to improve your business. Number 2, address feedback in person with your customers. Ask your customers how their experience was. This is hit or miss because sometimes a customer may not even tell you about their experience to your face. And as soon as they leave your business, they'll go online and write a review. So it's important to get your management and staff on board to kind of, I want to say, feel out your customers while you're dealing with them. If you hear spectacular service, of course, let them know how important your reputation is as a company and how it would mean the world to you and your company if they left a good review on Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, etc. If a customer is complaining, it's best to do whatever it takes to diffuse a situation firsthand and not make it any worse and get that customer to go home and write some nasty stuff about you. Number 3, respond to reviews, both positive and negative. Responding to reviews not only enhances your company brand by reaching out to real customers, but it builds trust to those who have not done business with you yet, but are considering to after reading these reviews. 88% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal word of mouth. Thank you, SearchEngineLand.com. So responding to these reviews shows that potential customer that you are reading their feedback and that you do care deeply about the context of each and every one of those reviews. So how can you respond to these reviews? I'm going to tell you. Positive reviews should always be met with an introduction, so address the person's name. Then thank them for the review and mention something in relation to the context of the review. Don't just copy and paste the same thank you response, as you don't want your customers to see you as a robot. They mention a salesperson, write about how great that salesperson is in general. Do they love the tacos you serve? Tell them how much you appreciate how much they love your tacos and to try another dish they might like. Then finally, close it out with something to encourage repeat business or referrals. For example, we hope to see you again soon, or we hope you will tell all of your friends and family about us, or if anybody has a plumbing emergency in your area, tell them who to call. Post the response, then move on to the next one. All right, negative reviews. Most business owners do not welcome negative feedback without going into some sort of emotional tirade about how your business is the most perfect place and how you've had thousands of satisfied customers, blah, 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 and you can't believe someone would say that, etc. The review may even be blatantly false, but let's face it, what the hell can you do about it? You can try to flag the review if it contains harsh language, if it was posted by a disgruntled employee, or if you can prove that it was your competitor down the street messing with you. But that's not what reputation management is about. That's called review suppression. And it's a core service that I swear 99% of these quote unquote reputation management companies provide, which is highly unethical and frankly very mob-like. Suppressing your reviews only makes it worse. If people see hundreds of 5-star reviews on your Google page, but a ton of 1 and 2 stars on your Yelp page, that only brings more red flags to your potential customers by making it look like you're writing fake reviews on your Google page, but also make it look like that you are intentionally doing damage control. Therefore, there must be something wrong at your business. So you don't want to suppress, but you also don't want to flip out on your response. So keep in mind, your customers are looking at both good and bad reviews of your business. So the way you respond to bad reviews should not involve your guards being up at all. Remember, the customer is always right, whether you like it or not. Don't accuse, don't call names, don't curse, don't even argue your side of the story unless it's absolutely necessary in the wake of, say, a phony review that you know is hurting your business. The response that I read earlier at the beginning of the show was a real restaurant that closed its doors last year. The idea was that the restaurant catered to those take no shit, tell it like it is type of crowd. So the owner literally thought that if you respond in a sarcastic and offensive way, that those people that actually look for tell it like it is bars, which don't exist by the way, will read the response from the owner, laugh, and decide, hey, I'm going to visit this guy's restaurant. The owner is down low and badass. I forget the restaurant name in Vegas, but there's this restaurant whose theme is just that, offending people. I think when I went with my wife several years ago, they put hats on us, and my hat said something about dicks or whatever. But the intention was to offend you. But this isn't Vegas, guys. And if you're trying to push out $20 specialty cocktails and fine dining cuisine, you really don't want to be broadcasting that type of tone with your potential customers. So here's how to respond to a negative review. Like your positive feedback, address the person's name first and foremost, and thank them for leaving a review. Apologize for whatever they had going on, and make the implication that you will do something to make it up to them. Do not, and I repeat, do not offer incentives. Do not reach out to the customer personally to get more information, as it could only make things worse. If you have a really disgruntled customer that could also be a hothead, sending them a personal message only gives them the impression that they have you and that you want that review removed, and you will do anything to make that happen. That's when this customer will roll all over you, and you will now have to walk on eggshells the next time they come to visit, if they will ever come back. Example, in my dealership days, we received a negative review from a customer who spent no more than 10 minutes at our lot. Literally, no more than 10 minutes. I guess because of her credit situation, there was no way she could qualify for a $40,000 Mustang GT with no money down. So, feeling offended, she flipped out at her staff. She went into every single room that had customers in with our salespeople and convinced them not to buy from us. People were walking out. She shouted at the top of her lungs. It was so bad that we had to kick her out. She did some real damage that day. Then she went home and wrote the worst things about our dealership, even about our rental company and body shop, which she never even visited. So my sales manager called her in the afternoon to apologize for the inconvenience she experienced at her shop. Again, keeping it short and simple and not getting offended and not telling your side of the story. And then our sales manager asked her to remove the review in exchange for a $20 gas card for her time spent driving down here. Even though it was a whopping 4-mile drive for her, we wanted to give her a chance to make amends right with us. It ended up backfiring. She accepted the gas card, but then demanded we pay her $450 for the quote-unquote therapist she had to see because she was so distraught. This was someone who spent 10 minutes at our shop, so we only assumed she had a bad day. We sort of hung up on her and focused our efforts more on connecting with our happy customers to leave a review to drown her false story out. So the moral of the story, there will be people that intend to do harm to your business unless you hook them up with something, which is why I suggest, again, don't reach out personally unless it's absolutely necessary and detrimental to your business. When I say make the implication, it's as simple as writing, "We hope you can give us another chance in the future," or "If you're ever back in town and have it in your heart to give us another chance, please ask for me, and I will do my best to make sure you have a much better experience with us this time around." That's it, guys. Diffuse the situation. This isn't about your pride or theirs. This is about your potential customers that are reading these reviews and deciding if they want to do business with you. If they see you respond to negative reviews, they will know that you are reading your feedback and you are taking necessary steps to improve your business so something like that doesn't happen again. Number 4, boast your positive feedback. Don't ego trip, but strive to show customers what makes your business the best business in your industry. Use positive reviews as leverage for your branding outside of review sites. So, for example, you could screen grab a 5-star review and use it as a Facebook post or an Instagram post. You can also use these to create testimonials on your site that aren't just text fields where you make some stuff up with fake names and fake, "Oh, this is the best company ever." Show your customers what real customers think of you. I suggest 2 to 3 times a month, use your positive feedback to brand your business to others who are in the market for your product or service. And number 5, create a system that reminds customers to leave feedback. Identify which sites are important and then ask for reviews. If you are a local business that receives a higher quantity of customers, predominantly restaurants, bars, dentists, plumbers, asking them to leave reviews and consistently responding to these reviews could take up a lot of your time and patience. You as a business owner don't really have the time to focus on a reputation strategy, and at the same time, you wouldn't hire somebody just for the purpose of gathering reviews. So having a system that can essentially automate your feedback requests will definitely help you get more reviews. First, identify which sites are important in your niche. So if you're a restaurant, there's Yelp, TripAdvisor, and Google. For law firms, you have Nolo, Avo. For roofers or plumbers, you have HomeAdvisor, Angie's List, etc. Then create your system. It can be as easy as designing a small 4x5 flyer or a card that you provide to your customers at the point of sale. So for restaurants, you would make this small flyer and insert it in every check holder with their bill. Auto repair, attach a page with your feedback request design to the customer's receipt. There are many, many ways to do this, but again, if you have a high volume of customers on a daily basis, I have a solution for you that's going to blow you away. Our automated process sends out emails to customers at the point of sale requesting their feedback. This takes them to a link on our site, not Yelp, not Google, not any of these third-party sites. This allows us to feel the customer out before we tell them to explain their experience on these third-party sites. If the customer leaves a 1-star review, then our system will follow up with them with a personal email with the same context we applied to our public negative review responses as we discussed previously. If they leave a spectacular star rating, we will then send them a follow-up email thanking them for submitting their feedback and to then leave us a review on one of our partner sites, which has a link to our Yelp page, our Google page, our Avo page, etc. So you're screening all of your customers and guiding your happy customers to help your business out by leaving that same review on one of those sites. Our system also collects your reviews and creates a testimonials widget on your website, which we can choose what reviews we want and what reviews we don't want on it, which also has some incredible SEO markup that shows your star rating when people Google your business, and that's directly off of your site. So let's recap what we learned about reputation management. Identify trends in both positive and negative feedback that enable you to adjust your business or marketing accordingly. Get an idea of how your customers are feeling while they are still doing business with you. Respond to reviews, keep it simple, short, and emphasize the fact that you do care about their experience and use it as leverage to create repeat customers. Implement your reviews in your marketing strategy, primarily social media, and have a system that encourages reviews. Don't write fake reviews, especially on Yelp. This will backfire. And if caught, Yelp will put this humongous graphic on your Yelp page saying that they caught you writing fake reviews, which looks terrible to your potential customers. It's happened. It's still happening, guys. Look it up. I suggest you guys go to Google, type in Yelp fake review alert. There's no way to remove this. Don't pay companies to write fake reviews or work on removing negative feedback. Also, don't think paying Yelp monthly will keep your bad reviews filtered. Instead, drown out bad reviews with real positive reviews and respond to each one. If you would like more information about our review funneling system, call our office right now at 818-964-0617 and ask for me, Amir, and I will give you a live demo of how it's done and what it's done for our clients. You can also visit us at 5spotmarketing.com to read up on our reputation management services amongst the other powerful digital marketing services we provide for small businesses. Subscribe to our podcast by going to 5spotmarketing.com/podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at 5spotmarketing or Facebook or Twitter. Just search for 5spot. There's no other company with this name. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in, and let's go out there and get some reviews.